Welcome back to Championship Sunday at the Boston Tour Stop presented by the Spikeball Tour Series. I'm Ezra Dantowitz here with Ben Dantowitz. We're coming to you now with the Pro Division Finals between Thomas Hamilton and Ryan Gross taking on Hilltop Spikes, brothers Max and Cole Modell. This should be an exciting finals. We just saw potentially the match of the season so far between Hilltop Spikes and Ghoul-Aid, and Thomas Hamilton getting it started off hot with that cut serve.
Yeah, for those following along in the action yesterday, you'll remember that Thomas and Ryan did play Hilltop Spikes in Pool A. These are the two teams that qualified for the Pro Division bracket out of that pool. It was a tight 3-game series. Gross, Eggs, and Ham, or Thomas Hamilton and Ryan Gross, won 22-20. They lost game 2 17-21, and they won the third game 21-17. The most notable thing from that series, as I was able to watch some of it and help with observing, was a lot of breaks, not the cleanest offense, and a lot of big serves and putaways and defending. So look for a lot of big swings both ways, as you'll see teams go on 2 3-point runs back and forth, if we see anything we saw yesterday.
Both of these teams are coming off 3-game semifinals. We saw Hamilton and Gross defeating Taylor Church and Chandler Hertzler in 3 games, and Hilltop Spikes defeated Kyle Ackerman and Grant Clapwick in 3 games. Game 3 went their way 25-23. So both these teams have had a lot of reps already today, but they're hopefully hitting their grooves now as we get this finals underway.
Yeah, and grooves indeed. You see Max going to that lefty pull, something not everyone's going for. A little more of a return to normalcy here, as Max is now the only left-handed player on the net. But don't count out Ryan Gross and Thomas Hamilton. They still have left-handed serves to boot with their strong righty forehands.
Yeah, watch Thomas Hamilton here. He loves to fake both ways before deciding. It almost looks twitchy the way that he's able to use his body. Wow. And goes for that lefty serve.
Goes for a high
just
call.
high. And
Right.
they're going to go to observers to see.
And that twitching you're describing, it's actually Thomas raising and shifting his weight so that he's not taking a step either way, but he's raising his feet as if he's going to step. So it looks like he's about to step and pick up his foot, but actually he's just shifting his weight consistently back and forth.
Wow, no
They
doubt
go
on
to a
that
redo,
one.
and that one stays right at Cole's hip. That is surely below the shoulder, and an ace for Thomas Hamilton here. And as I promised, another lefty serving prowess. He continues it.
Wow. I mean, those lefty serves are better than any of the serves we saw the 3 lefties hit last series.
Strong words from Ezra. Why not keep going with it?
And so if you're watching at home, you notice that Thomas Hamilton will switch the hand he's holding the ball in sometimes. He usually likes to toss it from one hand to hit with the other. You're allowed to switch hands as long as you don't let go of the ball and release it. If you released it, that could be deemed a toss. You can't toss the ball more than once. So as long as he's maintaining control of the ball, he can hand it off and then toss it to hit.
Yeah, another important rule, not something he's breaking, but something he's got to be wary of is once you've said the score and settled for your serve, you do only have 5 seconds to make your play. So you can only make so many fakes before you have to toss it and go for something.
Ryan Gross, also an ambidextrous server, more righty dominant maybe than Hamilton, but we'll see him work in some wide left cuts and get super wide.
Yeah, in particular, kryptonite for Hilltop being those drop serves. We saw a little bit of that in the semifinals. Yesterday, Ryan Gross had a handful of left-hand, offhand drop serves. But they're talking about this serve right now. Maybe it was a side pocket, maybe it was near net, depending on the exact angle Ryan was tossing from. So they're just reviewing what was what there. But it's going to be an
good
ace.
6-3. Steps out wide
Right
for the
on
left
cue.
and hits rim, yeah. You see how deep, watch how deep Hilltop is on their returns. That's the key. We saw them make the adjustment a little bit in that semifinal. Mostly it was that Ackerman and Clapwick stopped hitting the drops as well. And so they were able to return those drop serves when they needed to.
Yeah, in particular there, Gross is such a long frame. If he gets those lefty cuts in, it's good night for any chance of Hilltop receiving. They turn and run for those. They give up the open drop shot. That's why Gross had such success with that yesterday. We'll see if he's able to open up that space and then drop it underneath. As Cole serves 4-6 to Ryan. Sets a little bit across. Yeah.
Botch set there by Thomas
Botch,
Hamilton.
word of the day. Little reverse.
Good left there by Hamilton. Notice how when Hamilton's hitting, he starts to raise his right hand as if he's going to hit righty. The way that set's coming, I don't think he's ever actually going to hit right, but it's a good fake to throw, and defense maybe gets caught looking at that instead of reacting to how he's actually going to hit it. Great dig by Ryan Gross. Hamilton overcooks that set. And those eggs were maybe a little too hard-boiled on that one, and they are indeed gross.
That, of course, a play on the team name for Thomas Hamilton and Ryan Gross there, Gross Eggs and Ham. For those who are following along on Flangle, you see their team name showing up there.
And if you want to find results from this tournament or any of our past Spikeball Tour Series events, you can check out flango.io, search for some past events, and look up the Spikeball Tour Series. You can see just how each of those brackets finished out.
Across all divisions.
Across all divisions, exactly.
As Modell finds rim there. Max resets. He keeps getting the receiver to jump right when he hasn't even hit a right-hand serve. I'll take it.
Funny. It's so funny. Everyone
Says,
believes that he can hit the right, except Max. Max knows he can't hit a right. And he hasn't even tried him.
At least not with the kind of pace that you need to be jumping for.
7-7, knotted up early in game 1.
Thomas Hamilton not a stranger to receiving left-handed serves. That hit.
Just gets two on top of that ball.
No good.
Unable to drive it. And Hilltop, first lead of the day in this finals match, 8-7. I think the biggest thing is, and you talked about yesterday, there were a lot of breaks when these two teams matched up. Hilltop can be very clean on offense. If they're able to do that, that might be the difference for them against Hamilton and Gross.
As you
Max
see
there with a great
Max go
touch.
for a soft touch and dive attempt. A little too far from his reach.
Just stretching out those calves. He is tired. It's a lot of round net to be playing across these 2 days. I think this will be their 7th series of the weekend.
I can't count.
Yeah.
You said 11th?
I said 7th.
7th? Okay.
Yeah, 4 in pool play, 1 bracket yesterday, 2 today. I have an undergrad degree from the University of Massachusetts in mathematics. Yeah.
I do not.
Oh my gosh! And it helps me calculate the angles on that. That
Ryan
was
with a
probably
degree in gross, or maybe just endowed with it.
50
He hits
degrees
a
left.
Clean no-touch ace.
Take out your protractor, because that was wide. Might be able to see the clouds in the background. It's
Nice
just starting
backhand
to
flick
drizzle a little bit here. Or maybe I'm hearing things.
It might just be scattered rain, though. Small spotty storms, I think, in the Boston region today.
We are just south of Boston in Weymouth, Massachusetts. Beautiful fields here at the Union Sports Complex.
Cole lines up here, 9-9.
Point.
He's off net, but he gets the lefty push, and Cole is rotating into Hamilton there.
Yeah, over-rotated, blocked by Hamilton a little bit, but that hit comes back behind him, so no hinder.
Hamilton with a couple fakes himself. But that one's too high. We're going to rotate here, tied at 10s.
10-10. Max Modell on the line. Good cut. Just too quick on that touch for Gross to get a good set, so Hamilton misses the hit. Another just chance where maybe Gross and Hamilton could have got the play on offense, but just not clean enough to be able to get the ball back.
And they're going to just reset, take a timeout. Another kind of early timeout taken against Hilltop Spikes once Hilltop took the lead back, like we saw in semifinals. So it'll be important to note, down the stretch if Hilltops makes that same kind of run, they don't have any backdrop for them. But 11-10 here. Going to take a moment to shout out one of our Tour Series sponsors, the new Spiked Seltzer of the Spikeball Tour Series. That's Stuart's Spiked Seltzer. They sponsored the after party last night as well. Not something that I'm drinking right now, but maybe something someone's drinking after this game.
Good treat to enjoy after the series. You can check out Stuart's Spiked Seltzer. The iconic just got spiked.
Yeah, still looking for more iconic spikes of the game, I believe.
Yeah,
but
so
we're going to be...
Back to this game, just talking about it a little bit. One thing that we saw from Hilltop Spikes is a lot of clean offense, and I think that's been the struggle for Hamilton and Gross, is they're not getting great second touches when they have bad first touches. And that can be the difference when your serve receive maybe isn't 100%, being able to recovery set means that you're still getting great hits.
Yeah, and we talked a little about the recovery setting and even the recovery hitting. If you're off net, if you can make that big play, having the frame like Ryan Gross does. He and Thomas Hamilton had a couple of really important off-net hits where they were able to put the ball still past defense, or better yet, just put it in play. Force them to make an offensive play, as Max forces an offensive shift
Great
for
touch
them.
by Cole. He has not had success with that flick, but
Cole's stoked about it, though.
I stand corrected. Not a good hit, but a good result, as Hamilton maybe wasn't expecting the off-speed.
He left his feet there, maybe thinking for a high ball, and it came low. And another break now, 12-10 for Max Modell in game 1 of the finals. Important recovery set there, and that's put away cleanly. Great set from Gross to put him center.
Two things. One, they got the recovery set that time. Two, you see Hamilton again winding up with the right with the fake and then just hitting that lefty pull. We'll have to see if Hilltop can make the adjustment, recognize that, and start covering that left when he doesn't really have the righty shot. Drop by Gross, just too short, had Cole Modell chasing in.
Goes back to it and tunes it in.
Knots us up at 12s. If you're astute, you might notice from this angle that Ryan Gross is wearing a jersey that does not have his name on it. Shout out to Spencer Weber, Thomas Hamilton's former partner, and is borrowing the matching jersey from your old team, Team 7. Gross double foul once. The Hilltop Spikes still in the lead. This is kind of how they hung around against Goulet.
There's been a lot of their matches this weekend, as a matter of fact.
It never looks convincing when they're winning. They're not up by a lot, but they're in it. They look like they might be shaky, but then they get back in it. They get a few breaks.
I don't know if they even love playing close games, but that's just where they always find themselves. An off-net hitting opportunity, need to put it in play, and Hamilton, too much pressure.
That's been the story of game 1. They've had 3 or 4 of those, Gross and Hamilton, where they definitely could have got a better set, and they just didn't.
I think better set or not, that ball has to go in play from Hamilton. You can't be making the offensive error.
Great read by Max Modell.
Gross on the recovery touch there, though, and he puts a lefty around Cole Modell. The defense not able to recover for another possession.
Great play. Hamilton with a great set off Gross's touch, and Gross's wide frame just makes it easy for him to get those off-net kills with either hand.
We talk about him being an ambidextrous server. Once he's up at the net, he's very strong with the left and right.
Let's see what Hamilton's got in store. He's got a ton of different serves. What will he go with here?
Opens up some room on the left side to go back to it. Unlike Max, he does have the right to fake.
Oh,
and
yes.
he fakes again. Gets Max on his feet. Or off his feet, excuse me.
He aced Max with that left early in the game, and then aced Cole with the same thing. Or maybe it was the other way around, but he aced both of them. See if he can
right back to it.
Goes back to the left here.
But a righty it is. And Cole,
with the bowl that lands 70 feet from the net,
tries to copy, I think, your partner, Ian Gombeski, with a big bowl shot. And not something he's made all weekend, and still has not made it all weekend.
Yeah, you'll see that one on Instagram.
Maybe not on Hilltop Spike's Instagram, but somebody's.
Clip it and I'll post it.
Absolutely.
So 15-14, Gross and Hamilton now in the lead. This is kind of where Hilltop likes to be, though, just hanging around. They don't mind if they're down 1 or 2.
But playing against this team yesterday, it was not where they wanted to be, as this is usually where they saw Hamilton and Gross close out. So they're going to need to stay tight in this game right now. Can't let it go beyond 2-point lead. They keep it tied.
One high, so 15's knotted up. Max Modell, not a serve. Let's see if he fakes right and if Hamilton bites. That has been the story of his serves. When he's getting aces, a lot of the time it's fakes that he hasn't earned.
I'm going to bet he's faking right. Wow, I'm not making any money. But Hamilton is with that nice push.
Hit, but like great read by Hamilton. Doesn't hit it the most clean, but he sees where the defense is and just pushes it just outside Max Modell.
Waiting till that very last moment to contact the ball right up against the net. Gross 16-15 to serve.
Goes reverse, misses everything.
I said it once, but I'll say it again.
Still closer than Cole Modell's bull hit.
Looking for Gross to maybe make use of that left hand and the drop that he worked so well yesterday.
Cole Modell chopping that. Hamilton's there. Good touch. Gonna be a tricky set.
No! And Hamilton, believe it or not, made a lot of those long off-net hits yesterday. Not able to convert here in the critical finals matchup.
Knotted up again. Cole Modell serving to Ryan Gross. See what he pulls out. Ready cut.
Oh, Gross forced to go left, but he gets it with enough pace past Max Modell.
Max in a good spot there, reading that lefty hit. They weren't going around for the righty pull, kind of just staying home. Tough to defend the ambidextrous hitters.
A nice reverse cut from Hamilton, but a nicer receive and a classic lefty pull. Not covering the gap well enough.
That's 2 or 3 very good hits in a row from both teams, just seeing how good these hitters can be at the pro level.
Max Modell wants to go shopping for new spike balls. Shop he will, and it is 17-17 in game 1. Does the same fake. Hamilton doesn't jump quite as far.
He didn't give him enough time to jump. He went too quickly to the left.
No fakes, just a quick drop, and Hamilton gets to the ball in time, but it's just not a clean enough touch.
Yeah, a little bit late and doesn't have time to swing up maybe, and so that leads to a poor touch. Gross can't get the set, and a break for Hilltop Spikes.
A tough execution error there with another lead change. Gross not going to play the foot up off the rim. Wise choice. And that's too high.
So Hilltop Spikes still has their timeout left. They haven't really used them as far as we've seen. They used one in that past series. But if they get broken here, look for them to stop momentum maybe. Use that timeout.
Gross coming with a second serve here. Not swinging away, but trying to drop it in front. Max picks up and pushes well.
That was an excellent receive by
Cole
Max
gets to the
Modell.
ground just in time to dodge that violation. Again, you cannot hit your partner with your spike.
And the 2 things on that drop receive, 1 are getting to the ball before it gets down, and 2 are popping it up in a place where your partner can make a set. And Max did both of those. He gets under it and swings it up, doesn't cook it too far, but puts it up maybe 5-6 feet in the air, where Cole Modell then has a great chance to get his feet under it, make the set, and then it leads to a great hit. And that's the difference between that serve receive and the one we saw from Thomas Hamilton a minute ago.
Right, and now 19-18, you said they might take a timeout if they got broken. They actually are now up 19-18, want to just collect their thoughts, think about what these serves are going to look like, and visualize these last few points, critical points in game 1. Again, it's a game to 21, best of 3, but you have to win by 2.
Yeah, take a minute now in this break to call out one of our sponsors, Vii Apparel Co., the official jersey provider of the Spikeball Tour Series. You notice a lot of the players wearing jerseys by them. They're providing a lot of good shirts that you'll see a lot of Spikeball employees, Roundup players wearing on the tour. So thanks and a shout out to Vii Apparel. What are you looking for Thomas Hamilton and Ryan Gross?
I'm expecting them to clutch up the way they did in their matchup in Saturday's pool play rounds, where they didn't get broken late and they were able to fire off some big serves in big moments. You saw Gross going to that lefty drop. He actually hasn't even gone for the lefty cut serve big in this game. He hasn't made that at least. So he needs to maybe open up that space a little more. And for Hamilton, keep swinging away, especially those lefties. You see Max and Cole actually shooting pretty wide right on his right-hand receives. So if they can get their lefty serves going, that'll open up space for a break.
Ooh, good serve by Cole. Great receive by Thomas.
Hamilton pulls it through the gap.
Hamilton does a great job there. If you notice where the set's coming from, it's almost coming from behind him for the way he's approaching the net, but he still gets all the way around it to get that righty pull rather than facing his partner.
Great use of footwork, yeah.
Yeah, great footwork to get around the ball and the net.
And Hamilton goes to the left again. But Modell finds it well. And one of the cleaner backhands we've seen from Cole today. That one well centered over the net. Not a weak touch by any
and
stretch.
if you notice on the serve, Hamilton almost half tossed it. It looked like Cole Modell was biting as if it was a drop, but game point here.
Not going to play that one.
Second serve for Max Modell.
Cole was the one serving a lot of big 2019 and game point situations in semifinals. Now Max on the ball 2019.
Rims that, so Hilltop's pretty familiar with this. We are going to extras again. We said it was 19-19 in all 3 of their games last series. It's 19-19 again this series, and now it is 20-20. So win by 2. First team to get a 2-point advantage will take game 1.
Ryan Gross with the ball. Goes for the righty, and it's right at Max. But it's another lefty pull through the gap. Just a nice set from Cole to give Max what he wants.
Max Modell a little bit surprised by that serve almost he saw, where he's leaning back just trying to react to it. gets the ball high enough where Cole has a chance to get under it, and then he sets it with enough time for Max to run on. Great offensive sequence for them.
Cole rolls that over Thomas, and it's second serve again. Another game point for Hilltop. It's a good one. The goal is a soft touch. Max gets back to net. It's another touch from Hamilton, and Gross wanted Hamilton to take the soft touch. You heard him shouting, you, but Hamilton's already back at the net, and the ball's on the ground, and the game is over.
Yeah, great play by Hilltop there, using the soft touch well, communicating, and Max just diving through or past the no-hit zone, able to get a clean hit on the net and take that point. So 22-20. Hilltop Spikes wins game 1. We'll talk more about it, but Hilltop Spikes has never won a tour stop. This could be their biggest finish ever, and over some quality teams getting wins. So
yeah, Ryan Gross, a previous tour stop winner himself. He's been in a big moment. He's won in the big moment.
Kyle Ackerman, another winner with Ryan Gross.
Yeah.
So we'll take a break. Thanks for watching game 1. We'll be back in just a few with game 2 of this Pro Division Finals.
Stay there. Welcome back to Championship Sunday. We're at the Spikeball Tour Series Boston Tour Stop. I'm Ben Dantowitz here with my brother Ezra Dantowitz, and we are watching the Pro Division Finals match, Game 2.
Yeah, Hilltop Spikes, the number 9 team according to the last Lefty on 2 power rankings, won game 1 over Thomas Hamilton and Ryan Gross. Question is, can they continue with their momentum and win this series in 2 games? Max Medell starting off with the double fault. So we got into this a little bit right before the break. Hilltop Spikes has been on the scene for a while. They took off Max was injured in 2019, 2020 canceled season. But in 2018, they were all over the podium across the Tour Series, finishing in a few third places, second places, but never getting the job done and finishing first. This could be their first time in the middle of the Pro Division podium, getting those glass pitchers. And it would be quite the result with teams like Thomas Hamilton and Ryan Gross and Kyle Ackerman and Grant Klapwick in the field.
In particular, looking at their story this season, they played a Raleigh-sanctioned tour stop and got handled by Volley Llamas, and went to Rock Hill not too long after that, and also did not show up, didn't even make the Pro Division there. So to show up here, make the Pro Division, and then make it to finals on Championship Sunday, quite a turn of events for Hilltop Spikes this year.
Yeah, they really showed up today, and if they can finish this out, that would really be the icing on the cake for a return season.
Yeah, it would be fair to call them all the way back.
Max Modell on the serving line. We've seen him fake right. I don't think he'll do it from this stance. He usually does it from that flat stance with both feet together. But hitting another lefty cut.
Right.
Ryan Gross just taking that left.
Yeah, in that stance, he's a little more comfortable going for his reverse cut there, I believe. But he can go reverse and cut from all the stances, of course. A seasoned veteran. But 3-2 here for Thomas Hamilton on the serve.
I wouldn't say Thomas was cold in game 1, but he was not as hot as he can be. He had 3 or 4 aces, which is very good.
That's scary. It was an average walk into the park.
But he got 2 at the beginning, 1 at the end. In the middle of the game, he was not really landing serves.
And Cole waving at that one.
Questioning now if it was high. They're going to go to observers, who say clean. So 4-2.
The ball looked like it went under his arm.
Yeah, the rule there is if the ball is completely above the shoulder of the receiver as it passes them or as they play it, it is high.
And Ezra Dantowitz with the commentator magic touch there says, Thomas Hamilton, you know how to so-so game, fires off 2 aces.
Yeah, great start there.
Sorry, 3 aces, counting error by Ben.
6-2 now.
I'll say
from
3
Hamilton
and counting in
Gross.
case Thomas wants to have any more aces this game.
And Hilltop's going to call timeout.
Very early, but perhaps necessary.
Yeah, so he got his 3 aces. Question now is if he can have more than he did last game. But what a start for Thomas Hamilton and Ryan Gross, up 6-2, coming out into that game's 2.
Yeah, we were wondering, are we going to see a 2-game shutout from Hilltop Spikes? And Ryan and Thomas want to make a statement early on that is not going to be easy for them.
Yeah, Thomas Hamilton really doing it all in his own. Ryan Gross just along for the ride. Max and Cole have to come out of this break really ready to return those serves. I think it's something that they weren't really pressed on in game 1 because they got aced a few times, but never really were returning the good ones. No. And showing now that they maybe don't know how to return them.
And on top of those really strong serves from Thomas Hamilton, Ryan Gross himself, no slouch, hasn't really gotten going. And you see the 2 of them right now talking out some defensive rotations, making sure they're squared up on the sets. So if they're covering all of those angles, they're going to be a tough out for Hilltop Spikes. as they come back to that here. But we've seen plenty of resilience from them in the semifinals.
Yeah, Hilltop Spikes has been down but never out today. Even in the games where they lost, they were never really down by more than 3 and always fought back to lose by 2. So great efforts by them. We've seen that these teams both have ability to go on break runs. It's just going to be who hits their break run later at the end of the game.
And Max settles that one, and it's, get this, a lefty pull.
Yeah, a good return, though, by Max. We saw, even with Thomas Hamilton faking, Max holds tight and then gets the return on that lefty serve.
So they stop the bleeding, get the ball back into their own hands. Cole to serve to Ryan Gross. And that's a double fault. So we're going to rotate here 7-3. Ryan Gross trying to keep pace with his teammate Thomas Hamilton at the serving line.
Ooh.
And that's a good swing, but it might be rim. They're thinking it over, but they want to go to the observers. The observers are quick to say that's a rim. So we'll get a second serve from Ryan Gross. And that one high and over him.
Cole Modell recognizing both defenders up at the net playing body D and just chops it right over them. Smart play, don't really need to think too much about the hit and trying to squeeze it through. Just go over them. No chance to run it down if they're both planted within this 3 feet of the net.
Hilltop is going to need some balls in play. Can't get cold from the line. But it's settled well from Hamilton. A good touch from Max on a soft one. Tries to set cold, but it's not centered.
8-4 now. Update from the other match. The Pro Division third place game went the way of Grant Clapwick and Kyle Ackerman. So they took third in 2 games. They are awaiting the result of this final, though. If Hilltop goes on to win, Clapwick and Ackerman have a chance to take true second. They would play Gross and Hamilton, winner getting second. The way this is going, Hamilton and Gross are not going to concede this yet, though. So if Gross and Hamilton win this outright, we'll have our podium. Otherwise, there will be one more game for true second place.
Right, so by having beat Kyle Ackerman and Grant Clapwick already, Hilltop has assured themselves no worse than second place. Of course, that's not how they see things. They want to be winning this tournament.
Exactly.
And the reason we have a true second possibility is because at the tour stops, after the tour stops at Nationals.
Oh my goodness.
I'm interrupted by another ace, so it's 4 and counting now.
I think this answers what I was saying earlier. I don't think Hilltop actually can receive Thomas Hamilton. They just got lucky that he wasn't hitting fire.
They can beat a Thomas Hamilton that doesn't serve well.
Exactly.
Sure.
And especially Gross didn't serve well in game 1 either. So if the serves are on, it looks like all things are going Gross Hamilton.
Right.
10-4 now in game 2.
So I'll hold the talk on true second and see if I need to talk more about it if Hilltop is going to be winning this series. Cools off for a moment there, though. I believe we're at 5-10, down 5 points. So you were saying they'd come back from down 3 points to rally within 2, but this is one of the bigger deficits they've seen, at least today.
This is a bit much, but...
And a nice push from Gross there. He's wrapping his body around, but still opens up the hips enough to push the ball as Max goes for the pull.
That's a no-hit zone infraction, so 0.4 Hilltop Spikes.
Oh.
So
That would explain why he opened his hips so well.
Yeah, 6-10 now.
You can't do that. That's illegal.
That's too good.
That's too good to be fair.
It feels like he's standing right next to the net when he hits.
If it's hits too good to be true. Cole drops the second one.
Another fake and then goes left for Hamilton. And Modell reads it this time.
Oh, and man. Hamilton takes the 2, but he falls in the no-hit zone. Another tough break for Gross Hamilton.
I think he also hit Gross with that hit, right?
And Hamilton, after giving up another tough point there, signals for a timeout. They're going to regroup. The score now, where are we sitting?
7-10?
7-10, so back within 3. And we've seen them play from here before.
Yeah, so Hilltop within 3, that's where they're comfortable. They had to do some work to get within 3, but now that they're there, Gross and Hamilton again take the timeout early in the game, although Hilltop already took their timeout. We're out of timeout in the game, too.
It's going to be a race to the finish now. We'll take this pause in the action to shout out one of our sponsors, Hampton Fams. Good vibes, good friends, good snacks. Snacking on some peanuts between games. I'm trying to make sure I keep the water in my body, but I've got some salty peanuts here.
I like the salted peanuts. I like the hot nuts a little bit better, but these ones are pretty good. Get some salt in your diet.
Going right into the shell.
Yep. That's pretty good peanuts.
Absolutely.
Yeah, bottle.
Yep, I got you.
But thanks to all the sponsors helping us put on the Spikeball Tour Series. And shout outs to them. You can see their logos in the background of our net shot. Check them out. Give them some support as they are helping us put on a great tour series in 2021.
Yeah, I'll give another shout out you see on the front of your screen as we go back to the action. We've got a couple of observers floating around the net, so just a shout out to all the observers, not just helping on the feature court today, but helping throughout the tournament, keeping the game flowing. Really appreciate that.
And also, if you want to see yourself in a pro final stream, the easiest way is to become an observer.
Yeah, unless you're like Thomas Hamilton.
No, the easiest way is to become an observer. Getting good around it is doable, but
getting good at observing,
it's easier.
Just get your reps in.
11-7. Ryan Gross now to serve. Timeout works well for Gross and Hamilton as they cut off the train and maintain a 4-point lead. Oh, wow.
Try to get that break train going in reverse as Cole is forced to head up a free ball for Hamilton.
Power spike there.
Should be no problem, and it is.
Set just a little bit off. Cole Modell probably could have moved the feet a little bit more, opened up his hips, and then been able to pull it. Kind of bailed out and just took the easy way out with that hit.
Yeah, not applying enough pressure to a top team like Hamilton Gross. Score should be
12-7.
Players trying to figure out the spots.
Observers helping to get them in the right spots.
You see Max leaning back to allow that extra split second to receive.
You don't want to jump up and potentially raise that bar. Again, the rule for serves is the ball is legal as long as it is not completely above the receiver's shoulders when it either crosses the receiver or when they go to contact it, whichever happens first. So you don't want to raise your shoulders because the height is deemed on what is your athletic stance and then where are you when you get to the ball. So if you jump, your shoulders raise up and that height goes up, making it easier to hit a clean serve on you. But if you crouch, that height stays where it was before you crouched and whatever your stance was.
Yeah, back to Hamilton with a lefty, but that one
just
above high. Cole's shoulder. And we talked about how you want to maintain your athletic stance so you don't raise your shoulder, raise that strike zone. For Cole, when he's going to his left, he's not shuffling side to side. He's actually turning and running. That's probably picking up his shoulder, making it more of a liability to get beat wide by those strong serves from Hamilton.
Great return by Hamilton. Again,
Max, another touch.
He can't hit the left without showing the ready fake. Max Modell in the spot, not falling for the ready fake at all, just a little bit off on a clean hit from Hamilton.
He knows his muscle memory. He knows that Hamilton always fakes. And he's keeping his eye on the ball, knows that set can't be hit from righty.
Rim there from Gross. Feels like we're a little bit on cruise control now in game 2. Both teams kind of realizing the situation where it's a 5-point, 4-point game, and we'll probably be headed to game 3.
Max, no fakes allowed, just steps out and misses that one high over Gross.
Ooh.
That one's a good one, though.
Maybe I spoke too soon. Good ace there from Max Modell. Hamilton with a great effort to try to get a touch on that ball.
Absolutely.
If
you're
my
teammate making that touch, that's an ace. I'm not going for that one.
This is the time for Max Modell, I think, to break out that righty serve. See if he can work it into the mix. Great set. Great hit. That was what they were missing in game 1 is those recovery sets. That was a perfect set by Gross and Hamilton able to crush it.
Hamilton still up a few. Probably still has a couple aces he needs to tally on for the game.
Yeah, he's got to hit his quota.
Absolutely, especially if he's short on game 1. Some remedial aces. Max thinking about a high call.
Going to go to the observers here, determine who has the best perspective on that, and they're going to call it clean. It was just out to his side, not above his shoulder.
Score now 16-11. That 5-point deficit that was chipped away at, back up to 5. Hamilton still going left. It's working. Don't fix it.
That one is high. So we'll go 12-16. Cole Modell now to serve.
This is the position where you're between pushing for this game 2 win from Hilltop Spikes versus maybe conserving that energy and trying to gear up for a third game. down 17-12.
Good receive there by Hamilton and Gross. That one is a better receive than we saw in game 1 when they were struggling, but also a much better set from Gross, just putting Hamilton over the net on his dominant hand.
Cole setting the tough touch, and
wow,
that block almost on and off from Hamilton.
Yeah, quick decision by Max Modell to play that serve. She could have called fault on, just recognizing this is an easier play to make than trying to receive one of those fast-paced serves from Gross.
Next goes reverse. And it's high for Cole.
Oh,
and it's an errant first touch, not able to get it back to net.
It was so bad, as Cole Modell said. 18-13 now. Thomas Hamilton to serve. See if he can close this one out and take us to a game 3.
Gets Cole to run right, but the left serve has actually been his dominant use in this matchup. Has he had a righty ace, maybe one or two?
Maybe one or two.
Nice, absolutely going to play a rim serve. A soft touch from Hamilton, and Gross goes for the soft on.
Oh, I love that drop by him.
They're unable to regroup for another break point, but a fun rally there.
Great play by Gross getting the touch. Hamilton with a diving set. And Gross just didn't think it made sense to blast it when Max Modell was back, so he kind of fakes and drops it on. Cole Modell there, though. And
just forcing the offense to do the work.
14-19. Does Cole Modell have any magic in him?
Thomas Hamilton wants to practice the long rundowns just in case he needs them in game 3.
If you're playing at home, the rule is that you can take that first touch and you have until the second person hits the ball to call fault. So if you're playing with your friends and they're hitting bad serves that sometimes you want to play, get a practice touch on that first serve, see how it turns out, and then you can call fault as long as it's before your partner hits the second touch.
I like to say the first touch is free.
First touch comes free.
They're figuring out scores. Because Hamilton was serving at 18.
Yeah, 20-14.
Oh, was Hamilton serving at 18-13? Are they in the wrong spot here? Because Hamilton was serving 18-13.
Yeah, they might have
so
rotated.
Hamilton should have been on the left if they were serving 19-14. So Gross should be on the right here.
They had the dig on the last one. Yeah.
Did they get a break at 18?
Or maybe that was the one where they got the up and then
They lost the point?
That was the one where Gross dropped it on, and then Hilltop still won the point.
I'm not sure if Gross served that. I thought it was Hamilton aced Cole Modell, and then Hamilton served to Max. Max played the rim. Nonetheless,
called no hit
zone violation. Nonetheless,
it's not going to matter.
It wasn't going to be a
but
win
there's
for
some
Hilltop
confusion
Spikes
on the end of game
yeah.
2. Either way, game goes to Thomas Hamilton and Ryan Gross. Not sure on the final score. Probably 21-14.
We're sure about the winner of the game.
We're gonna take a break and come back for game 3. That'll be the deciding match of this finals. Remember, a lot on the line. Pro Division bid, some cash money, but we'll see in just a few for game 3 of the Pro Finals.
Stay tuned. Welcome back to Championship Sunday. We've got another game 3 for you in the Pro Finals. I'm Ben Dantwitz here with my brother Ezra Dantwitz, and it's Hilltop Spikes versus Hamilton Gross. Ezra, what are we looking for in game 3 here?
Yeah, so brothers Max and Cole Modell came out firing game 1, got the win, but game 2 really had no answer for Thomas Hamilton's serves. Number one thing for them is going to be returning serves from Hamilton. We didn't even see Ryan Gross put on much of a fight. But if Thomas Hamilton stays hot and is serving, that's my pick to win this one for sure.
Could not agree more, especially as you noted, Gross has plenty of serves left in him if he can keep them low, get them in play. So look for Cole and Max to make some big serve receives if they want to win this tour stop. Another thing worth noting is the situation with True Second in play. If Hilltop Spikes wins this match, True Second will be decided between Hamilton Gross and Ackerman Clapwick. That's because in the semifinals, Hilltop beat Grant and Kyle, and if Grant and Kyle can have an opportunity to play the second place team for True Second, that would be a True Second win for the Pro Division bid at Nationals in October. So a lot of variables on the line here, but right now we're going to get down to action with Max Modell to serve to Ryan Gross.
Yep. Lefty server Max Modell goes reverse cut. Wow.
And it's high. Cole with a touch, not able to get those first touches back towards Max or with much height for a set in the last 2 chances we've seen from him.
And Thomas Hamilton will be serving first for Gross Eggs and Ham. It's a reverse rim there. Oh, wow. Just clean ace with the left. That's what Hilltop had no answer for last game.
Yeah, and it's similar to what I was mentioning where Cole's popping up to run that down. His shoulder is going up from where he squats in the middle. His shoulder is high enough there for that serve to stay legal. If he stays in an athletic stance and shuffles, maybe not. No data on that one, though. It's now 3-0 Thomas Hamilton, picking up where he started in game 2. Cole is jumping every which way, and it doesn't matter. And Hilltop needs this to look a lot less like game 2 right now.
4-0. Thomas Hamilton has been playing a lot in the Midwest this year. You might have seen him if you're following the Midwest Roundnet Association, MRA, probably on every podium that he's played. But he's not played on the Spikeball Tour Series yet this year. This is his first appearance. And a lot of anticipation, a lot of expectations for him, and now he's showing you why. His serves when they're on are very tough to return. We saw his hitting around the net very clean in game 2, some great touch in sets, and he's just an excellent all-around player.
Max tracks deep, and he can't find the lefty pull there from Cole on the set. Just a bit out of his reach. Needs to be making those kinds of points, especially down 3 already. Now down 4, 5-1 for Ryan Gross. Can Gross get going with these serves? It's a little reverse, but Cole settles. We see Modell using the backhand. He used that a little bit earlier in the series. Had not seen much of that from him in the quarterfinals yesterday or the semifinals this morning. So it's good to see he's got some offensive options to use. A little discussion. I'm not sure if it's about net contact or...
They're asking if Cole Modell's hit max. Again, if you hit the ball into your partner, it's a loss of point. So observers discussing now if they saw it hit. They're going to call that it was clean. It did not hit Max Modell. Hamilton just off with the set, not able to convert. He gets to a very wide stance with his feet. He's not the widest player, so he doesn't have the biggest wingspan, but helps set himself low and get good angles with both his left and right there.
Gross disagreeing about something there, maybe the score call. Just making sure everybody's ready. So it's going to be a reserve here, 3-5. Max shows Modell. He had the righty all along.
Goes right. Wow. What a time to break it out. Bring them back to
the haters should have believed him.
You mean us?
Yeah,
we're
us.
The haters.
We're the haters.
We're the haters.
And now Max has that opportunity to open up that righty fake and go back left again if he chooses. And he does. Whoa. He opens up so much room there in Hamilton.
Great
jumping right
there. Just couldn't land the lefty serve.
Max showing that he's doing a fake toss there. He's keeping his thumb on the ball, but he's opening up his fingers. That's a very clever trick. Kyle Ackerman made note of it yesterday in the quarterfinals as well, as Hamilton and Gross get tangled in traffic. Bit of rush hour, and they can't navigate the gap.
And we are tied up, 5-5. And so we saw Hilltop stayed strong, did not call the timeout early in the series.
Right.
But Gross Hamilton just did, as now it's 5-all. So a 4-0 start.
A 4-0 start, and then a 5-1 run in response.
Yep. It's a great starting game 3. Wow.
And we said yesterday the matches were very swingy between these two teams in pool play. A lot of breaks, a lot of 2, 3, 4-point runs. And you see the same thing here where the players are very ready to go off on their serves. Never out of a game. Don't count them out at all.
Yeah, for a lot of players who are new to the game, you might think it's almost 50-50 if you're serving or not, or if you're a really good server, it might feel like you have an advantage. At this top level, contender and up, even a lot of advanced games, it's very much receiver favored, where if you're receiving the serve, you're expected to put the ball away, and you rarely get points when you're serving. Well, not rarely, but you're less frequently getting points serving.
Breaks are highly valuable.
Yeah, breaks meaning you score a point when you're serving. When these two teams have played, both high-level, great offensive teams, great hitters, we've talked about it already. For whatever reason, when they're matching up, it seems like the servers are winning more points than they're losing, which is just nutty to think about with the skill levels at play. And that's been the case in Game 1.
Yeah, perhaps maybe even close to 50% of the points being breaks instead of holds, where the serving team is winning. But that's something you could check out at roundnetstats.com. Roundnet Analytics Worldwide, or RAW, has been putting together stats for the Spikeball Tour Series events. So Stay tuned for these numbers to get crunched, and you can look up how many breaks have been had as Gross tries to get another hold and stop that stat. But Comodel is centered, and he goes deep as well. Hamilton on the set.
Wow.
Gross too far off net for the lefty spike. Another break in the books for Hilltop Spikes. They're now up 6-5.
That first set by Thomas Hamilton was great. Just ranging left, making a diving set, and putting Ryan Gross right over net. It was just an excellent read by Cole Modell to track down that long ball, get a good touch, and then get his own great hit. Great touch by both teams and another break.
6-5.
Max going to the left for a second serve here.
6-5.
Just adjusting the centering of the net. On that last one, he pocketed it and kind of moved the shift it back. That one's in play, and it's a choked set. Cole's going to eat that up and put away that trash.
You notice around the net there's a dot in the middle. That's just kind of for the players to know what's centered. And then there's a small circle around the net. That is our no-hit zone. It is 1.5 feet from the net, and players cannot stand in there or fall in there when they're hitting. It makes it a little bit more difficult to get easy hits on offense. And so that's why you'll notice players are straddling that when they're going to hit.
Yeah, and those pro, premier, and contender divisions are playing with that no-hit zone, that added level of challenge where those players are so strong offensively, they have another thing to worry about their footwork even more. But Hamilton gets the ball back. It was bad news for Hilltop last time he had the ball in hand, and that's a tricky serve, but he puts it away. A great receive and spike from Cole Modell.
Yeah, great play. Cole Modell ranging right much better than he's ranged left so far, and able to pop that up and then get a righty hit on.
And a nice reverse cut from Cole, but Hamilton, no stranger to reverse cuts. He's seen plenty. Cleanly put away.
Notably, didn't fake the righty on that lefty hit there.
Yeah, I guess there's no fooling Hilltop there. They know that that's on his left hand.
So Ryan Gross really has not made much happen himself at the serving line. A few drop aces. Let's see what he pushes.
And he opens up the lefty. Max has to go right hand, and he spikes it right at Gross, and he can't get a clean touch. It's a big off-net hit from Max Modell to keep them on the ball.
9-7, Max Modell now to serve. They have not been up too much in these games, but now with a 2-point lead, the question is, can they expand it?
Modell flashing the right hand again there. But both serves go too high. See Hamilton playing around, flashing some skill there on a dead ball. He's going to have the ball here, 8-9.
Hits rim, thought about playing it.
Hilltop has to think about playing it. Look at that server.
They're barely getting anything up when he hits it clean.
Look at that serve!
Oh my gosh. Just so
Bang.
wide left for Hamilton. So that brings us to 9-9.
Looking for another lead change here. Hamilton faking each way. You see him shifting his weight so quickly. And Max thinks that one is just high. And they go to observers who do signal that that was a high serve above Max's shoulder. So from a bang to a bang-bang play there.
And
It's
so
going to be
it'll
second serve. And Hamilton knows he's got the room. He's creating space.
10-9, Cole Modell serving to Ryan Gross. We saw Max go righty this game. We still, oh no, have not seen Cole go lefty for good reason. What a set by Thomas Hamilton.
But Cole's in the spot, but Ryan's got the answer defensively, and he dodges the no-hit zone on that last put away. Fantastic sequence.
Another excellent set by Thomas Hamilton off a tough receive. That's just great athleticism to be able to get all the way across the net and make a set where Ryan Gross can hit it. Hilltop making a good play, but not able to quite kill it.
Yeah, and Ryan cleans that last hit up. Really tenacious to stay in that point and maintain the hold. Can Gross get going on the serving line? Ops dropped. But Cole's there, and hits too far for Hamilton to give chase.
Just blasting that one away. That's been Cole's bread and butter, and nobody has really given him that much of a challenge on it. If he's open, he's just blasting it over the defense. Nobody really quite running it down.
As Max puts that left, and Hamilton does the same fake right, but Max is able to track it. Cole, can he set Max in time? It's too low. It hits rim. That'll be a hold for Gross Hamilton.
Yeah, Cole just not able to get his feet under that set. Good effort by Max getting that ball up. He's looking a little bit tired here. They still have their timeout in game 3 if they wanted to use it.
Yeah. Midway
Max
through
has to
now,
receive.
11 all. Take a moment to shout out the official underwear of the Spikeball Tour Series, pair of Thieves. You can see that that little their sign in the background. One of the people and teams making the Tour Series possible. So shouts to them as Hamilton goes high at 11-11. A second serve coming. And he goes right again. It's been interesting to see how Hilltop has played them, where Hamilton has more aces and breaks generated off that left-hand serve. I wonder if that's how he's serving. What mix of that is how Hilltop is positioning themselves to cut off the dominant right hand. As Gross has to go lefty, and Max
nice
can't get a
catch.
clean touch up.
Sliding right up against that Hampton Farms sign. Modell with a good read, but just a second too late and not able to get that ball up high enough.
Yeah, good vibes, good friends, good snacks.
Hampton Farms.
Missed defensive opportunities there for Hilltop Spikes.
I don't think they want that associated.
They don't want that associated. Oh, good opportunities,
Good opportunities.
but missed.
oh.
As reverse cut with the left hand for Ryan Gross. Hadn't seen him pull out too many breaks, but he makes it happen in a big way.
13-12, they take the lead on Ryan Gross's first big serve of the game.
Short serve here.
Too far, actually.
Can't play it
Missed
off
the
of
net.
nothing, though.
Unless there's a little back pocket one. Second serve.
Misses everything twice, so not up at 13. It's Max Modell on the stripe. Let's see if he pulls out that righty. He's got the stance for it.
Ryan thinks about playing the first touch. Remember, the first touch is free, and that was not a playable touch. That was a really bad kick.
Really bad kick.
Well, good kick if you're not worried about playing round net.
He got good contact on it.
Yeah. Maybe for like a kickball series, but not the Spikeball Tour Series, as that's a nice put away from Ryan. A beautiful pull under his left arm.
Another good set from Hamilton there, and Gross just wrapping that with his right.
Keeps them up 14-13 now for Hamilton. Is he going to go back to that deadly left-hand serve? He opens up the space, and Cole needs to play that rim. He knows the threat that Hamilton has in that left-hand serve.
We were knocking Cole for his backhands in the semifinal when he really couldn't get a clean one on, but he's had 3 or 4 really solid backhands here in this final, and that's been really the reason that they've stayed in all
What a
these points.
difference a centered set makes for Cole with enough time to reach around it and hit it with power. All tied up again. They're going to play the rim. And a nice
Great
lefty push from Hamilton. Remember, Hamilton, all these impressive plays with his left hand, he is right-hand dominant. That's just how good these players are at the pro level.
Yeah, Hamilton, one of the best ambidextrous servers in the country.
And his
You've seen his
teammate,
hitting, it's also good.
right up there. You saw Gross had a lefty reverse cut ace earlier. I don't even know if Hamilton has that one in the arsenal.
Second serve.
But a double fault here for Gross. We're going to
Got it up
rotate.
at 15s. Again, game is a 21, win by 2. We are in the final stretch of this championship match, and we are knotted up.
Fives. That was a fault.
Max, I think, calls a fault on himself there. But he puts the second one in play. And Max can't get deep enough for that lefty hit from Gross. It's going to be another hold for Gross Hamilton.
Hamilton got the ball.
We talked about
I
just
think he
moments
goes
ago.
left.
Max doesn't want to play that first one.
Just swatting it away off the rim.
Finally. Okay. Come on, Cole. 6-5 second.
Max has a hard time finding that set, and Cole can't really get his feet around it to tap on.
That's a huge break for Gross
Big
and
time.
Hamilton, giving him a 2-point lead. Again, we're just playing 21. They need to hold that 2-point lead for just 4 more points to close out this match.
Hamilton looking to extend it, though. Fakes a couple ways. And Ryan Gross makes sure not to make the same error you saw from Kyle Ackerman in the semifinals. An intentional hinder there would just be a loss of point. He lets it fall to the ground. Cole has to recover that set, and it's a righty. And it looked to be a rimmed hit from Max Modell. That's going to be 18-15 from Gross Hamilton.
Yeah, final stretch.
We talked about Max Cole being within reach if they've only within 3, but At this stage of the game, they're running out of time.
Good timeout for them. Might have been a minute too late. Maybe I should have called it before that last break, but they're still alive. We've seen them come back from 2 3-point deficits. It's a little bit late in this game to be coming back, but definitely not out.
Yeah, we'll see if they can keep it interesting as Hamilton has continued to apply the pressure. You see them playing some challenging rim serves if they need to. So when Hamilton's on, it's just too much for Hilltop this game. It's been the story of games 2 and 3.
Yeah, I mean, job number 1 here is to return Hamilton's serve, get a hole, get the ball back in your hand.
Ideally on the first try.
Yeah, once you do that, then you can think about getting the breaks and trying to tie it up. But for now, it's still stop the bleeding. Hamilton just got 2 in a row. He's not looking to stop. If he's coming out, he's looking to end this on his own.
Yeah, he wants to use this timeout to his advantage, the same way the Hilltop's trying to slow his momentum. So he's regrouping. He's standing at the serving line. He's actually in the background here, I think, taking some practice serves with Gross. Not something you usually see during timeouts, but something I think could be highly advantageous, just tuning that exact rotation, finding that exact square on the net that you're going to hit.
So Hilltop only really has 1 minute. They should be back out on the field. Gonna pull them out now. Max, I think, still hurting a little bit from that semifinal.
Yeah, had something taped up. I guess it was foot taped up or something was
might have cut his toe or something on the cleat, but
okay.
Hasn't seemed to affect his play much. He's been ranging well on defense and making plays on offense. But 18-15, going to rejoin the action here. Thomas Hamilton still serving, looking to close out this championship match.
And a rim serve there, not one that Cole can play. So he has to face a second serve here from Thomas Hamilton. Couple fakes. And goes for the lefty drop. Not one we've seen from him in this series, I don't think. And it's no good.
16-18.
Second one's in play. Hamilton a little off net. And it's rimmed. A big time error. Hilltop Spikes gets a big break.
Pulls it within 1, 17-18. Cole Modell still serving. It was a good serve, a pretty decent set by Ryan Gross, but Hamilton just went to cut off a bit too much angle with that lefty spike.
And speaking of good serves, that was not one of them. That was a fault from Cole, but the second one needs to be in play here. It's high, though. Gross is going to have the ball at 19-17. Just like how Hamilton did after that timeout. Gross wants to put this game out of reach, maybe end it right here with the serves.
Huge swing going for that ready cut.
And you wonder if Cole was trying to play that point. Is that an intentional hinder by Ryan Gross? Probably not. That was an inadvertent one. 19-17 again. Jams Cole, but Cole has the lefty pull, and Gross is on it, but just off his fingertips.
Yeah, it looked like he made the read a second too late, seeing where the ball was going, but couldn't get there. Max Modell up next to serve, 18-19. They need to get one here, or they'll have maybe one more chance to get a break and tie it up. Our game is to 21. So
I don't know if I want to give the ball to Thomas Hamilton to 2018. That's scary.
Cut. And a great push.
But they're going to have to.
Yeah, Hamilton seeing where Max is, a great set, and is able to just open up his hips and push it to Max Modell's left. So now match point 2018.
Hamilton a couple fakes. He's going left again. It's a good one. Cole finds the set, but Max can't find the spike. That's going to be the game, set, and match for Gross and Hamilton. That is Thomas Hamilton's first ever tour stop win. For Ryan Gross, it's his second following up a win in Erie, Pennsylvania.
First ever tour stop podium for Hamilton, right?
I believe so, at the top level.
Yeah, at the top level in the Pro Division. Congrats to Thomas Hamilton taking home his first pitcher. Ryan Gross, it's his second of the year. They earn a Pro Division bid to Nationals. They are qualified for the Pro Division if they want to. That's Ryan Gross's third with a third different partner, so we'll have to see what ends up happening.
Right.
And also Hilltop Spikes, their first Pro Division bid of the year.
First Pro Division bid, their first podium finish of the year.
Yeah, we will see them in the Nationals Pro Division in Valley Forge in October. Congrats
Absolutely.
to Max and Cole. But story of the day, I think Thomas Hamilton really did it all. Player of the match, probably player of the tournament with the way he was playing.
I'd say so.
Just an insane finish for him. We're going to take a break, and then I think we're going to bring him on to talk to him about his performance on the day. So thanks again for watching Game 3 of this finals. We're going to take a break, and we'll be back in a few with some of our players. All right, welcome back. We're here with Tour Stop winner Thomas Hamilton. Thomas, congrats.
Thanks.
How was it playing with Ryan Gross today and yesterday?
It was a lot of fun. I really like Ryan. So, and I don't know, he has a lot of good defensive ideas. And yeah, it was just a lot of fun.
How is it? So your semifinal today was against Church and Hertzler, and then that final was against Hilltop Spikes. Both of them went to 3 games.
Yeah.
What was the difference maker for you winning both those series, tight series?
Oh, geez. I feel like when we lost, I was kind of just off on serves. And, yeah, that happens. And sometimes I get in my head a little bit. I was getting a little frustrated, but I feel like I was using my timeouts, really well in the other games that I won.
Yeah, I think when you said you lost when you were off, which makes sense because we saw when you were on, Hilltop really did not have a way to return them.
Yeah.
I think for people watching, it looks weird from our perspective. Are you deciding what is going through your process when you're making those fakes? Do you know what you're doing before you serve, or is it a process where you're watching the receiver?
Yeah, I know what I'm doing before I'm going to serve every time. Or not every time, majority of the time I already know what I'm going to do. And I'm thinking about what they're scared of. Or, yeah, basically what they're scared of and kind of just trying to read that and throwing that out, that fake. And so they're biting really hard on that and then just going the other way.
Nice. And so I guess really we talked about your serves were the difference. I think your hitting and setting were also insane. There were a lot of touches by Gross where he got a bad touch. You made a diving play across the net to maybe get the ball back in play.
Yeah.
What were the things you were doing reacting to either the serves or the sets and defense? What were the things you were doing outside of serving that you thought worked well?
I thought my hitting was pretty clean. I don't think my setting was that clean. I think I had some bad sets. I always feel like that's my worst point, and I'm always trying to grind on it. It's just very hard for me for some reason. But
And then, okay, so you played with Ryan Gross today. We know at the beginning of the season the plan was to play with Kevin Bailey. He's been injured. What's the plan for you looking like in the next couple tournaments? I know we talked about this yesterday. It sounds like you're trying to play with a bunch of people, but what do you think will happen?
Kevin, so he tore his oblique or something like that in dodgeball. So, yeah, like you said, he's been out. But he said he's feeling a lot better, and he's been practicing a little bit. I think Preston's in Michigan right now, so they're messing around, so we'll see how he's really feeling. But if he's 100%, the idea is just to play Chicago and try to qualify there.
In 2 weeks.
Yep, 2 weeks.
And so we'll see you at Chicago. Are you planning to play any of the other tour stops this season?
Yeah, we're trying to play Chicago, Virginia.
Richmond, yeah.
And if we don't get it at those, then we're going to have to play California, but I don't want to do that because that's the same day as the MRA finals.
Gotcha.
So.
Okay, yeah. So if you haven't seen Thomas on the SRA tour stop, you've probably seen him at MRA finals if you're following that. You're probably got to be top 3 in points for that, if not top 1.
I'm the first, Grant's the second, Ryan's the third.
Nice. So top in the MRA series, winning a pitcher, Spikeball Tour Series, getting it done all over. Congrats, Thomas. Good win today.
Thank you.
Congrats on the podium. And we're going to take a quick break and then be back with Max Modell of Hilltop Spikes.
All right.
Hilltop Spikes second place finisher. Max, congrats on the second place finish.
Thanks, guys.
How was it playing with Cole again this season? We saw this is your 3rd tournament of the year, I think, with Cole.
3rd, yeah, second tour stop.
What's the progression been from the first 2 into this one? What feels different? What feels good?
We've done things well in all tournaments, and we've definitely noticed things that we need to improve on in between tournaments. So with Raleigh, our very first tournament, we were having trouble hitting with the no-hit zone just because we hadn't practiced it as much. And it was still pretty new to us, so that was something that was very glaring. And then our performance in Rock Hill was a little bit underwhelming. We did have a tough pool, but we still always want to do better than that. But we noticed that we need to work on serve receive. So then we came in today, and we knew that we're playing against some of the best servers. So that was our main focus today. So it's always just been noticing what we need to improve on and trying to act on it.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing that we saw, especially in that semifinal, was you guys would be down by 2 or 3 points, and it looked like maybe the gas is out of the tank, and then you'd fight back and stay in it. And all 3 of those games went 2 points. So you were never really out of it. And same thing in this finals, Game 3, it was 4-0. You guys fought back to take it up 5-5. What is that you're thinking about, that you're talking about with your brother, when it's like we're down but we're not out?
We just know that a game's never over until it's over, and everyone's streaky. You'll miss a serve here, you'll miss a serve there, but we know we can all go off and get a couple in a row. Use your timeout strategically. If they get 3 or 4 in a row, take a timeout, ice them a little bit, collect yourself, and then come back to it. But just knowing that, trusting our serves is the main thing.
What was it like? So the 2 big lefties, Kyle Ackerman and Grant Clapwick, they've got insane serves. I think from watching, it looks like you had a lot more trouble with Thomas Hamilton compared to them. Was that your first time playing him? And I guess what's the notes after seeing that?
We did play him in pool yesterday, and it also went to
Right.
3 games. It was a great series, super fun. It's just he hits with both hands extremely wide, like wider than Cole and I hit
Yeah.
with just our one hand. It's insane, and he gets to it so quick. But the strategy, at least for me, this is my first time playing him, so just learning on the fly. But trying to watch his center of gravity and try to follow his step if you can, but more so following his center of gravity. There are definitely things we could do better. It worked well. We had to make adjustments definitely yesterday, but yeah, Thomas definitely gave us more trouble. I think part of that is also that I serve to Cole a lot, so he's used to seeing lefties more. Granted, obviously Grant and Kyle serve differently than me, but Cole had a lot of exposure to that, which was good.
Yeah, I think that's a good point. Just getting reps against that is tough when you don't have anyone who hits quite as fast and quite as wide
Yeah.
as Thomas does. There's no way to really practice that other than playing him in a tournament.
Mhm.
But you guys made great adjustments, I thought, throughout the day, especially fighting back in that semifinal, which was awesome to see. I think that'll go down as one of the best matches of the year.
Yeah, that was an amazing series.
So what's next for Hilltop Spikes? You've got the Pro Division bid. I
Yeah.
think it's safe to say you guys will be playing in Valley Forge.
We'll definitely be there. We're going to go to Richmond because Cole's still at
Richmond's close,
in
yeah.
school at Richmond, so I'll be down there for the weekend.
Are you playing anything else, or Richmond you think is the last one on the
I think that's
schedule?
going to be our last one.
Nice,
until
okay.
Nationals, yeah.
So trying to accrue some points, move up the rankings for that Pro Division bid, see
Yeah.
where you see it in. But we'll definitely see you guys at Nationals. Anything else you guys wanted to call out before we sign off for the day?
Congrats to Ryan and Thomas.
Yeah, Ryan and
Definitely earned
Thomas
it.
balled out.
Yeah.
And third place finishers Grant Clapwick and Kyle Ackerman taking third. So pretty strong podium for everyone here at Boston. T5 teams were a little bit weak this week, but that's how it goes sometimes. But thanks, Max.
Yeah, thanks.
Congrats on second place. You'll
Thank
get a picture at some point. Today wasn't the day.
Damn, you're working me.
Thanks, everyone, for watching the coverage of Championship Sunday from the Boston Tour Stop. I'm Ezra Dantowitz signing off for Ben Dantowitz.